Okay, getting ready for the test on Tuesday. If you're looking for ordered pairs that are not a solution, you're going to substitute the ordered pairs into the equation and see if it comes out equal. If it doesn't come out equal, it's not a solution. So that means I'm going to have 6 times 3 plus a negative 10 equals 8. 6 times 3 is 18, minus 10 is in fact equal to 8. So that is a solution, so it's not my answer. 6 times negative 3 plus 26 is not going to equal 8. Oh, yeah, it might. Minus 18 plus 26 equals, it does equal, oh, yep, it does. Okay, so B is correct, so it's not the answer. C is going to be 6 times 2 minus 4 equals 8. 12 minus 4 does equal 8. So C is correct, not the answer. So it's going to be D. Let's work it out to make sure. 6 times negative 1 minus 4 equals 8. So we're going to have negative 6 minus 4, which is negative 10, not 8. So D is the answer. Okay, when you're looking at a function written in point slope form, the rate of change, which is the slope, is 1/4. And a point on the graph, you can look at this value and this value. Remember that the point slope form has y minus y1, so you're not going to take the negative sign with you when you're naming the point. So since x plus 2 should be x minus x1, that's going to be negative 2. And if y minus y1 has 3, then it's just positive 3. It's not negative. So that's one point on the graph that you can get from just looking at the equation. Okay. So we have our varies directly, which means we're using y equals kx, or k equals y over x divided by. So I know that I have likes is my y and x is my time. So I have k equal to 12 over 2.5. I can leave it like that. I do not like having 2.5 in there. I can multiply times 2 and have 24 over 5. Or you could turn it into a decimal, which would be, I don't know. I had it somewhere. Okay, can't find it. Anyway, 5 goes into 24 4 times with 4 left over. 5 goes into 48 times, so 48, 4.8, 4.8, 4.8. Okay, so now that I'm going to write my equation, this is not my equation. My equation is y equals 24 over 5x. This is the equation they're looking for in A. So if my x is 24 hours, I have y equals 24 over 5 times 24. 24 squared is 576. Divided by 5 is 115.2. Since I can't really have 0.2 likes, I'm going to assume my answer is 115. Okay, number 4. Let's just look at the graph. I know that my y-intercept is negative 4. Remember when my equation is in point slope form? Nothing in there is my y-intercept. I don't see the y-intercept. It's not in there. So B and C have the y-intercept. A and D do not have the y-intercept showing. So let's find the slope. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. 0.0512. So it looks like it's negative of 5/2. So I can cross off C. B has negative 5/2 minus 4, so B is 1. And if I look at A and D, they both have the right slope, but they're going to have different points. So let's talk about how we find the points. We just did this a minute ago on number 2. This tells me that the x value is 2, positive 2, and the y value is positive 1. So let's look and see, is positive 2, positive 1 a slope on my graph? No, it is not. How about negative 2, positive 1? Negative 2, positive 1 is a slope, is a point on the line, so D is also an answer. So B and D, although they look different, are both answers or equations that can represent that graph. Okay. Point slope form, we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So let's call this x1, y1. So I'm going to write down y minus a negative 2, which is y plus 2, equals 1/2 times x plus 4, because it's minus a negative. So if I want to change it to slope-intercept form, I'm going to distribute by 1/2. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, and I end up with y equals 1/2 x. So here's my slope-intercept form. Here is my point-slope form. Okay, so number 6, we're looking for the y-intercept. Since it's in slope-intercept form, this is my intercept. And this is the questions I was talking to y'all about before, where we know the answer is 1, but you might look at your answer choices and get confused as to where the 0 goes, and maybe that is the is the intercept. So D is going to be the right answer, but make sure you read carefully, make sure it's in slope-intercept form, and then make sure you pick the right one with the 0 first and the number second. Okay, so here we're same thing we're talking about in number 7. I cannot find the y-intercept because this is not in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to have to solve this equation. Well, we're going to have to solve this equation for y, or we can put these ordered pairs in and see if it comes out to be even. Because if we're looking for the y-intercept, we know that we have 0 for x and some number for y. So I can take out my 4x because it's going to be 4 times 0. So 2y equals 8. Divide by 2. Y is equal to 4. So A is going to be the answer. It's just a coincidence that there's a 4 in front of the x. That is not a legitimate way to find the answer. Someday I'm going to get better at this. All right, number 8. So point slope form again. Y plus 3 because it's y minus negative 3. The slope is 3, x minus 6. To solve, I'm going to have y plus 3 equals 3x minus 18. Take 3 away from both sides. Y equals 3x minus 21. Okay. When you see undefined slope and 0 slope, you should immediately think hoi vux. So hoi has a 0 slope, vux has the undefined slope. So what is my line going to look like with undefined slope? It's going to be Vertical, it doesn't tell us where it has to be. So anywhere on the graph, you could draw a vertical line, and that's going to have an undefined slope. For zero slope, the line's going to be horizontal. And again, it doesn't tell you where it has to be. So you can pick any place on there, draw a horizontal line, and that will have the slope of 0. I keep doing that. Okay. Here we are again, y-intercept. So here it is right here. Here it is right here. See if it goes away again. Here it is right here. Oh, wow. I don't know what's going on. Eek. All right, so that point's going to be 0, 1. Okay, now notice this one has the x-intercept. So we can immediately cross out A because A has that 0 first. To get the x-intercept, we want y to equal 0. So if I put a 0 in right here, I have 0 equals negative 3x minus 12. I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Actually, I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So I end up with negative 3x equals 12 divided by negative 3. X equals negative 4. So that's going to be C. Okay, again, we're looking for the x-intercept. Make sure you notice what it is they're asking for. That is right there. So that's going to be negative 4, 0. Okay, finding the slopes of the lines. We're going back to our slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I always just do x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to have negative 8 minus 3 and 5 minus 5. That tells me it's going to be undefined, not 0, undefined. The second one is going to be 2 minus a negative 3, which is plus, and 4 minus 0. And it comes out with 5 over 4, and that's good enough for my slope. All right, here we go again. Hooyvucks. A horizontal line has 0 slope. A vertical line has undefined slope. Okay, so here's a graph. Let's look for the slope of the line. I'm going to look for pretty points, perfect points, whatever. Okay, it looks like I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's negative, up 3 over 4. The y-intercept is 0, 3. I don't know why it's doing that. The equation of the graph is y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. And the x-intercept is 4, 0. I don't know what makes it disappear. That's so weird. Okay, so we're going to solve this one for y. First thing I'm going to do is add 12 to both sides. 3y equals 6x plus 12. I'm going to divide by 3, which means I have to divide everything by 3. I end up with y equals 2x plus 4. Okay, so I'm looking for the information in that equation I just wrote. So the slope is 2. The y-intercept is 0, 4. We don't know the x-intercept. We can either substitute 0 into our equation and find it, or we can do the graph. So really quickly, if I put 0 equals 2x plus 4, take 4 away from both sides. 2x equals -4. Divide both sides by 2. I end up with x equals -2, so my x-intercept is -2, 0. Okay, and then when I graph it, I'm going to start at 0, 4. And hopefully it won't disappear. I'm going to go up 2 over 1, positive slope, so I'm going to go up 2 over 1, which is here. Up 2 over 1, which is here. I can also go down 2 over 1 the other way, down 2 over 1 the other way. And if I had something that could make a straight line, my straight line would be not right there. Okay. So the slope of this graph is the change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to start at 0, 0, and it looks like 1, 15 is the point. So from here, I'm going up 15, and I'm going over 1. So 15 over 1, my distance is on top, my time is on the bottom. So slope is speed, because whatever it is going 15 kilometers per hour. So the slope is 15, and it represents the speed or the kilometers per hour. Okay, to find the slope, I'm going to find the difference between two of these. Notice that -5 to -2 is +3. 2 to -3 is going down, so it's going to be -5. So when I put this together, I'm going to end up with 3 over -5. And remember, it's the same thing as -3 over 5 or a -3 over 5. All those are the same. Okay, so if we're putting this value in this equation, I'm going to put in 2.4 for y. I'm going to have 2x, and then I'm going to solve for x. Plus 3 times 2.4 equals 6. 2x plus 3 times 2.4 is, 3 times 4 is 12. Oh, 3 times 24 is 72. Duh. Take 7.2 away from each side. I end up with 2x equals 1.2, -1.2, divide by 2. X equals -0.6 over 1. So x equals 0.6. Okay, and the number 20 is the same thing going the other way. I'm going to substitute in x and solve for y. So I have 2 times minus 1.5 plus 4y equals 2. 2 times -1.5 is -3. Add 3 to both sides. 4y equals 5. Divide both sides by 4. Y equals 5 over 4. And since x was a decimal, let's change it to a decimal. So that would be y equals 1.25. So there's my y value. Okay, so the linear equation, the first thing I need the slope, and I need the y-intercept. The y-intercept is -2. The slope is, looks like there's a point right there. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 up and 1 over. So the slope is 3. Y equals 3x minus 2. Alrighty, last one. Y varies with x. That means we're using k equals y over x. And then we're going to write that into our equation, y equals kx. So if y is 18 over 5, and x is 12. You could think about it that way. We could change 5 over 18 over 5 into a decimal, which would be 3.6 divided by 12. We could do, okay, which is equal to 3.3. Because 0.3 times 12 will be 3.6. Or you could have taken 18 over 5 and divided by 12, which I know y'all wouldn't do. Because then you have to remember that it's that. So you would have 18 over 60, which would be 9 over 30, which would be 3 over 10, which would be 3/10. So k equals 0.3, y equals 0.3x. So that would be when it says write a function, it has to look like that when you're done. Any questions on Tuesday? We'll take our test on Tuesday, and then we'll keep on working on our linear functions that we've been doing.